Reflections on the 9-Year Plan and the Destiny of America, Part 5, exploring paragraphs 16 through 20, a culture of learning and accompaniment. Beloved friends, welcome to Part 5 of our ongoing exploration of the September 30th, 2024 message. In this section, we step into one of the most vital dimensions of our community building efforts, the how. How do we build a new world amidst the ruins of the old? How do we stay focused in a society shaped by distraction, division, and disillusionment? These 5 paragraphs, 16 through 20, form a kind of blueprint. They describe not programs or targets, but a culture of learning, a culture of accompaniment, a culture rooted not in reaction, but in reflection and construction. Together, they illuminate the pathway by which transformation becomes not only possible, but sustainable and deeply spiritual. Paragraph 16, staying spiritually focused in a digital age. Let us begin with paragraph 16, which opens with a remarkable observation. Surely this passage is even more relevant today than it was then, especially in the age of social media. This refers to the quotation in paragraph 15 from the Universal House of Justice, which warned that the primary cause of human suffering is not material conditions alone, but the erosion of spiritual and moral clarity. In paragraph 16, the National Assembly brings that insight directly into our time. We live in an age of immense information and immense noise. News, updates, videos, hashtags, opinions. Thousands of signals compete for our attention every hour. The world pulls us in 100 directions, urging us to comment, to react, to align with this cause or that crisis. But friends, we are reminded that Baha'is are called to walk a higher path. Our responses are not to be dictated by the loudest voices in the room or the trends of digital culture. We are not chasing after fires to extinguish. We are building the fire that gives light. Our guidance comes from a higher source, the whisperings of the Spirit, the writings of Baha'u'llah, the direction of the Universal House of Justice. We are not reactive. We are constructive. We are not swept away by every social wave. We are anchored in the ocean of revelation. Paragraph 17, the framework of action. In paragraph 17, the message moves from the inner compass to the outer map. It describes the framework of action that guides our service. The National Assembly reminds us that the work of expansion and consolidation, social action, and engagement in the discourses of society is not a list of parallel tasks. It is a system, a living system. When these areas of activity are nurtured together with wisdom, patience, and prayer, they amplify each other. A vibrant devotional life feeds the soul of social action. A meaningful study circle may spark a conversation that transforms public discourse, and participation in public conversations may attract hearts to the faith, drawing them into the very core activities that deepen their understanding. This paragraph challenges us to see the plan not as a formula to follow, but as a framework to inhabit. It is a pattern of growth that breathes with the rhythm of faith, reflection, and accompaniment. This is the scaffolding for building a new civilization. Not rigid, but responsive, not shallow, but systemic. Paragraph 18, a learning mode. Now we come to paragraph 18, which speaks directly to the spiritual engine behind this entire framework, the culture of learning. This paragraph is rich with insight. It tells us that learning is not just a method, it is a mode of being. A living community is not one that hits targets, but one that grows in insight. It learns from its own efforts, not in a spirit of self-judgment, but with honesty, humility, and hope. The letter outlines several key qualities that animate this learning, such as the ability to reflect on the past without fear or denial, a realistic reading of the present without despair or exaggeration, a vision of the future grounded in the writings and shaped through consultation, a willingness to adapt, to let go of what doesn't work and build on what does. And this learning doesn't reside only in institutions. It flows through every level of the community, in homes where families reflect together, in children's classes where teachers learn from their students, in study circles where tutors grow with their groups, in assemblies and area teaching committees who listen deeply and consult sincerely. Learning is not about perfection. It is about movement, forward, together. The paragraph calls us to leave behind both the extremes of burnout and complacency. Growth emerges where there is unity and humility. Paragraph 19, Beyond Numbers Toward Empowerment. In paragraph 19, the National Assembly addresses a temptation that every vibrant movement must face, the lure of numbers. It is natural to want to see the fruits of our labors, to count the activities, the enrollments, the participants, and these are indeed signs of vitality. But this paragraph reminds us that impact is more important than volume. The true measure of growth is not how many events we hold, it is how many souls are empowered through those events. Are new protagonists being raised up? Are more friends stepping forward to serve? Are our communities becoming spaces of mutual encouragement and spiritual ownership? If all the work rests on a few shoulders, even the most impressive statistics will wither in time. But if we learn to empower others, to nurture in every soul a sense of purpose and capacity, then the growth becomes exponential, sustainable, and radiant. This is a call to build communities of shared ownership, where every individual sees themselves not as a passive participant, but as a builder of the new world. Paragraph 20, Enrollment and the Threshold. Finally, we reach paragraph 20, one of the most spiritually nuanced portions of this message. Here, the National Assembly speaks of enrollment not as a mere administrative outcome, but as a sacred journey. Yes, we long for more souls to recognize Baha'u'llah and formally embrace his cause. But we are cautioned not to reduce this process to numbers or urgency. Many who walk the path of service with us, who teach classes, offer devotionals, serve their neighborhoods, are drawing ever closer to the faith. Their hearts are being transformed, their understanding is expanding. They are no longer strangers to the cause, they are companions on the road. Some will formally enroll, crossing that threshold in a moment of clarity and joy. Others may never do so, yet they are already transforming their lives and communities in the spirit of Baha'u'llah. Our role is not to push, but to accompany, to walk with all souls, patiently, lovingly, and trustingly. As the paragraph concludes, the faith is for humanity, not merely for those who carry a card. What a liberating vision. It invites us to see the work of transformation as open to all, regardless of labels. We are building a garden where every soul can bloom. Summary of paragraphs 16 through 20. And so, friends, these 5 paragraphs form the living core of a new culture. And in paragraph 16 urges us to stay centered in a digital age of distraction. Paragraph 17 reveals the framework of action as a living system. Then paragraph 18 places learning, not performance, at the heart of our service. Then paragraph 19 shifts our focus from output to empowerment. Then paragraph 20 elevates the journey of the soul beyond enrollment, emphasizing love and accompaniment. Together, they invite us to stop managing a program and to start cultivating a spiritual civilization. They call us not to stress and strive for visible outcomes, but to act with patience, trust, and joy. This is the path we are being asked to walk, not as saviors, but as servants, not as experts, but as gardeners, tending the seeds of unity in the soil of every heart. Let us carry this vision forward as we prepare to explore the concluding paragraphs in our next session.